Hi, Garth Riley here from the Garth Riley Show and Sheena Repath from Ideal Samples, and we wanted to sort of just talk about youth, and we both have a big passion for it. In fact, I invited you to one of your first speaking gigs. Was it the first?
I think it was the first.
How was that?
First ever.
Yeah,
I was terrified. Garth, I was so angry at you the night before. I'm going, this was a dumb idea. Why did I ever agree to do this?
But I invited you because I think your story about being young and being persistent and being a female and all of that would speak so well to these kids at Uxbridge High School. And we came in and really didn't have an agenda because it was kind of a different class to talk to. So we just started chatting back and forth.
Yeah, telling our story and just kind of talking to each other like we were friends. Just
right.
Very relaxed, not a superior, in an atmosphere kind of where they would let their guard down a little bit to take it in.
Right. We had one girl that actually, her name is, last name was Rogers, is going to be coming, Sarah's actual name, and she's going to be coming to the studio. She wants to come here on the 1st, so I just got to email her back. She wants to see what we're doing here. I'm going to show her what's going on social media, and then hopefully take her over to one of the other major studios in the area. So this idea of going into working with kids and helping be a part of it, I just knew I could talk to you about it. But why is it a big deal to you?
You know what? I've always loved kids. My whole life. I've loved helping them. I've loved encouraging them. But I've never been able to figure out a way to work at it, to give them something more than just, a helping hand or some great ideas or help on a project or something like that. When you and I first started talking about kids, immediately I saw an opportunity to take what I do at Ideal Samples and helping people bring their ideas to life and following a path of entrepreneurship for kids. I struggled all the way through school and I hated it with every second and every ounce of my being. I couldn't wait to get out of there. But only because the school system wasn't prepared for somebody like me. And there's lots of me out there. There's lots of kids that don't fit the academic puzzle. We
spoke to that group of kids.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, I guess when they get to a high school level, they get sectioned off and they get put into a co-op program or something. And really that's the school's way of saying, we don't know how to deal with you. We're going to give you something to do to keep you busy until you graduate. And that's the kids. The kids must feel like, you know what? Just go away. We don't know how to deal with this. So I always thought that a great opportunity would be to create a program that fosters that helps them, shows them, there are other options, there are possibilities. All of these kids have great ideas and ambitions to do something. They just have no idea on how or where to get started. Yeah,
and the idea of openness and to be able to talk to somebody and not feel like they're going to get shut down. Because in that community, let's face it, the school has a set of rules and parameters, and it has to work in a certain way. And while we met some really dynamic people that are working that program, as far as staff was concerned,
amazing.
By this time, when the kids have gotten to high school, they've pretty much been that child all the way through, and they're at the last stage. Almost, I would have to say, in an abusive situation, because they've been told that their ideas don't work, they don't fit, so they just start to believe it. And I don't think anybody's doing it maliciously.
No, and I think it's been done for so long, and absolutely, the schooling system to a certain degree is great. They have to create a system to funnel these kids through so that everybody kind of starts out with the same education, with the same head start in life.
Right.
But at what point do you throw your hands in the air and say, okay, something's not working?
Right.
And we have to create an opportunity to foster this. When we started talking to those kids, they all had walls up. Nobody wanted to talk to us. Nobody wanted to say a word. They were terrified. Then you started talking about your story. I started talking about my story. And they went, oh, these guys are kind of like us.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe there is a possibility. Hey, maybe, they're talking to us at our level.
Yes.
They want to hear what we have to say.
Well, I'm going to get a hold of Sarah Rogers. I mean, I just got a text from yesterday. She said, okay, summer's back. I want to go and learn. Because she wanted to know if she wanted to get into radio and television communication. I said, well, tell you what, I don't know. Lots of people graduate from that and don't go anywhere. But, I mean, the same thing for doctors or whatever it is. So why don't you come and learn? So she's going to come to the studio, what we've created in the last 8 months, show her what we're doing for social media. Then I'm going to take her over to Chex and over to Rogers and walk in the door. And if we get in, we get in. But she wants to kind of see if this is where she should go. I think a lot of kids should get that opportunity. And she spoke up and she said she was scared.
She was. She was terrified.
Yeah.
And we kind of called on her a couple of times and she went, oh my gosh, don't talk to me, please.
But she said she was the email we got said she was really excited.
She was.
She's like, can I really do this? So our goal now is to create some kind of program that's going to help kids, and we talked about some ideas that we're bantering around, and probably before the next 3 or 4 months we'll have something.
Absolutely.
And then we're just going to roll it out and give it out for some of the children out there to feel like they could get some encouragement and move forward.
Absolutely. And whether it's getting a job, maybe they've got an idea and they haven't got the first clue on how or where to get started. Mom and dad want them to get a job that's got a paycheck. The school's going, oh, ideas, everyone's got an idea. I'd love to create a program that takes my resources and my expertise and fosters that. Yeah, you can do it. You know what? Come along for the ride. Open your mind, open your ears, open your eyes, ask questions, get involved. Why not instill in that generation, it is possible?
I think it's entirely possible. So we're looking forward to doing that. And if anybody wants to be a part of that,
definitely,
they can just email the show, email us our websites.
Yep.
And you know what? This thing's going to rock so quickly.
I can't wait.
With the work I've done with kids over the years, I think it's the next step. That they now don't want to be bullied anymore, but they want to figure out how to do it next. So we'll go do it.
Absolutely.
Then after that, French fries and cheese and gravy. I think they'll call it poutine, and it could be a hit. Thanks.
Awesome.
All right. So we're going to do that. You want to get a hold of us? You can. And if you don't, well, click. See ya.